weeks in a row in a while.
Well, I mean, it's been weeks since we've done weeks in a row.
Oh my God, it is the Budrush. Bellow. What is going on, everybody? I am your host of this live podcast, Tommy Fresh, and you are all of my buds, and we got a great show for you tonight. Mostly because we're joined, as always, by Gary, aka Mr. Viz. How you doing, buddy?
Doing really well, man. Doing really well. I spent a bit of time in New Jersey this weekend, so my week's worse than normal. Yeah, just having a good time. Been really sucked in the Baldur's Gate game, man. What a great game.
Oh, you're playing it?
Oh, I'm all in, baby. That's all I've been doing the last week.
I want to try it. I do want to try it.
I think you'd love it.
I probably would. It sounds like it's really up my alley. You were in Jersey.
D&D.
What were you doing in Jersey?
Well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but I heard we were both floating down rivers this weekend. I rolled a little bit low on the river, but yeah, we'll save that for the Scabskin moment of the week. But yeah, we were rowing down. We got in a bunch of tubes and we floated down the Delaware River between our two home states, bridging the gap between where Washington crossed and did his whole thing. So floated right by your house, but I heard you weren't there. So
I was not there. I was also floating down the river. I did not float down the one that you were on. I was floating down a different one with some local buds that I met through the game. One of them, it's been on the podcast, Craig Krempels. It was a good time hanging with Craig and his, meeting his wife and friends and family. It was a fun little hang. It was a perfect day for it too. It wasn't like too hot. But it was a good time. And I'm sorry that you were in New Jersey. You can imagine how I feel. I'm here all the time. No, it's the best. I also rode low, so that's a nice little hint for the Scabskin moment of the week. Before we do that, we do want to do some upkeep. Patreon, you can find in the show notes somewhere, is a great place to hang out and support the show. Keep the mics on, or the mics hot, the lights on, and get some nice little bonuses. I'm going to start posting about my Levi cosplay journey, which I talked to our bud Rachel Stoddard, aka Max Veracity, who obviously great cosplayer. She's given me some tips and tricks about some stuff I should order and the materials I should look at, and very, very helpful. And it actually really cleared up my mind because you just don't know where to start sometimes. So very excited for that.
A freshie too, I saw.
Yeah, we have a new era of the freshie, and Capolo says keep the cosplay hot. It's gonna be me, Capolo. Obviously, it's gonna be hot. New era of the freshie. I'm doing video freshies. Woo! I had some mood lighting, some jazz. We're back. We're a lot. It's the best Patreon going in the Flesh and Blood community. Yeah, honestly, at this point. But also shout out to the Buds Discord. It's a great place in the world to hang out, Flesh and Blood or otherwise. And Fresh and Buds, the podcast. 2 years of the podcast, essentially 104 episodes. I believe we looked at the dates the other day, right? I think it was August
29th or something.
No, it was early. It was the 18th, maybe. But I didn't start on Thursdays at that point. But we got Taylor Morrow from the Attack Action Podcast. Great guest, great bud. The love was in the air, and it was a really good time. I am still editing it after this show, actually, so I should finish that.
I just noticed your hat. Go Bills.
So I like the Bills.
Okay.
I'm a Packers fan, but this is actually my grandfather's hat. If you look at it, it's really old, and shout out to my grandpa. He was a real one, so I wanted to wear it. I thought it went well with the shirt, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah. What else? There's Fresh and Buds. That's out tomorrow. And keep subscribed to YouTube. At 1,000 followers, I'm going to
They're gonna hold you to it. Whatever you say right now.
I'm gonna do I'm going to egg Gary's house at 1,000 followers, and it's gonna be a good time. And then check us over at X. Hit 1,000 followers on X. So, things are going great over at X. Things are awesome. We still got to change the logos, but maybe I'll just leave them at Twitter.
Leave them as a little archival footage.
Yeah. So that's it. We got a great show for you. We're going to talk about what are some other classes we think that are good, could possibly be good for an all of one class. A lot like Bright Lights is going to be set. We're gonna draft. After seeing Teklevasan, how really attractive and well dressed he is, we're gonna do best dressed heroes in the game. So it should be a good one. But let's crack some packs. What do you think?
Let's crack some packs.
Oh wait, let me get.
We've got.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're new, we roll a dice and we pretend it's our Scabskin leathers roll. We open as many packs as we would get action points if we were rolling Scabskin leathers, and then we can crack our Crown of Dominion or Gambler's Gloves to re-roll the dice if we roll too low. So
all right, let's see what it is. 4. All right, I think we take that. You never crack on a 4. There's
never crack on a 4.
You never crack. If you need a 6 to win.
What are you doing? What are you doing if you need a 6?
But hey.
Honestly, last few weeks we rolled 2 or higher action points.
Yeah, life has not been kind to us.
Yeah,
we've been rolling low not completely, but the dice, however,
rolling high.
We'll leave this for the Patreon. That will be open later. So if we don't have open the Fable today or right now, it might be up on the Patreon later. Or there was 2 Fables in those 3 packs. You never know. So coming at us first. I don't think that's possible.
Where are these from?
These are Koros War Games, Flemington, New Jersey. The fine gentleman over there now knows my name.
Nice. Thomas?
No. Jiminy Cricket. Break of Dawn. Let's break that away from this pack. I don't know. Charge of the Light Brigade, certainly okay, but not where we want to be. Angelic Descent.
Love that card.
Yeah, it's good. It should be renamed to Angelic Decent. How about that?
Yeah, pretty decent. Yeah.
Resounding Courage Blue. Yeah, whatever.
That's fine.
Soul Cleaver Blue is not really something I want to be doing. Maybe the red,
We did clear up that the soul triggers.
Yes.
If you attack Levia. So for all of these ones that care if your opponent has a card in their soul, if you're playing as Levia, or if you're playing as Vincent, and you attack a Levia consumed or Levia redeemed, they do have a card in their soul, so you will get the extra effect.
Yes. And Greg's in chat. What's up, Greg? Battlefield Breaker Blue. No, not good. The blue Rift Skitter.
This is Paige's favorite card in the set.
Rift Skitter?
She was opening packs with me and she read Rift Skitter and she's like, that's such a cute name.
It does,
He's a little bit scary, but she just liked the Rift Skitter, and then we were opening packs. She's like, not a good pack. You didn't get a Rift Skitter, so
we got the poke, yellow poke.
I do love the poke is good.
In foil. Ooh. Banneret Resilience. I'm a big fan of the Banneret cycle.
Yeah. You like the block one?
Kinda. If you're on the Soulbound,
yeah,
kind of plan. And then Beckoning Light.
Ooh. Beckoning Light. Shout out to the spoiler to Tall Timmy for the best spoiler video of the season.
Paul, we're thinking of you. Beckoning Light. It's a good card. It's decent.
Good card.
No, this is Recursion's.
Recursion's so good, especially in both.
So good in this game. All right, let's open this Fable.
Let's see. Light of Soul.
Flight of Soul.
Let's see it.
It's not even one I really want, to be honest. Blistering Assault. That's Assault. Light
Love
the
Light the
Way.
Way.
Good card. Good card.
Good card.
Yeah, Angelic Decent.
Yeah, decent. Is that like Envelope in Darkness?
Yeah. Charge of the Light Brigade Red. That one's better than the blue one. Soul Butcher. I don't really like the Butcher that much, to be honest. Tribute to the Legions of Doom. How do I feel about what?
How do you like Legions of Doom?
I love the art. I don't know if it was Bill who pointed out, was like, oh, I don't like he kind of like doesn't look that like big. It kind of just looks like a zombie. But I was like, no, actually, if you look close, there's actual people sitting on
people for scale.
People for scale.
Oh wow, he's huge.
He's a big old chonker right there. Dance of Darkness. Love this cycle's just such a home run. Yeah. I think it really is. Foil Battlefield Breaker in blue is not good. It would have been great if it was a 6.
Yeah. What do we got here? V for Valor.
This is a good card. Card.
Yeah. You like the blue?
I don't hate the blue, to be honest. You only really in Bolton, you only really need the +1.
Only counts as 1.
Yeah. And then Herald of Ravages.
Good 2 packs. We got 2 decent hits.
Yeah.
There's a Herald Extended Art, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I after opening all my boxes, I realized that it was not easy to get the playset.
No.
Of those. So.
Not at all.
Yeah. Well, that's
Scabskin moment of the week. What do you? How are you rolling?
Very poor.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Nothing. But this is pretty good. This is fresh squeezed watermelon juice.
Oh yeah, right from the watermelon.
Yeah, right from the watermelon. River watermelon. So my low roll is this. On Monday I was out in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and that's the story. That's the low roll. Now,
yeah.
And I had a work meeting, and I also had planned. I knew it was only a half day, right? Like after lunch, I go home. It's a 2-hour drive typically. And I planned on leaving, hitting the gym, and then like doing the podcast with Taylor. Had it planned for 6 p.m. and I leave the my work at 1 o'clock, right? Like, okay, I'll get to the gym around 3-ish, and I'll be good to go. And I'm driving down I-78, and all of a sudden, like almost last minute, my GPS goes, save 20 minutes by taking this route. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it was just too soon. I couldn't get over to get off on that exit.
Oh, brutal.
And then I'm like, oh, man. And then I look at my GPS, and my estimated time of arrival went from 3:30 to 5:30.
No.
Yes.
5:30?
I was livid. I was like looking all over because like I was still driving. I was like, okay, maybe it's mistaken. And then like 2 miles down the road, standstill traffic I was in the traffic for over an hour to get 4 miles to get off so that I can avoid the rest of the traffic. They had all of 78 closed from that exit to the next exit that I was going to get on. So there must have either been a really bad accident or they were like doing something. But I was so mad. I don't get really loud or aggressive ever. Like, I'm like pretty laid back. But I'll be honest with you. For a minute, I thought I broke my hand punching my radio. I was so, and then, I had come from work and we had tried a new beer. and whatever, and I was drinking like water, and I didn't even think, and all of a sudden I had to really pee, and I was stuck in this traffic,
Oh
and
my
and
god.
it was to the point where I was basically like undoing my belt, kind of like taking off my pants a little bit. I was like anything to not put pressure on my bladder. And I, not to be crude or anything, but by the time I got to the Dunkin' Donuts that I eventually stopped at, actually, excuse me, Dunkin', they dropped the donuts.
Well, they have the donuts, but
They
they
still,
don't want it to be.
yeah, yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, no, it's like the people have loved that name for 50 years. Let's drop it. So I went use the restroom, and it was like a 3 minute thing. I was,
Oh my god.
yeah, yeah, but my mood
Oh,
improved 100-fold after. But
did you,
still,
did you get a donut though?
no,
Oh,
I just skedaddled out of there. I was like, I gotta get, because like I couldn't go to the gym anymore, so I was like, gotta get home and try to get ready for the podcast. And yeah, I was not a happy camper, but I felt like I rolled high when I recorded with Taylor, because Taylor's such a good dude. So, what's your Scabskin moment?
well, I mean, you're gonna. Mine's just that I'm being a little baby now. You had to sit in traffic for 2 hours. That was Monday, you said?
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah. Well, I low rolled this week, so we went on the river. And I think I wore the red shirt on in like by accident, but I think whatever the like the Freudian slip is, because so I got the worst sunburn I've ever gotten.
Whoa.
Um, I so I had never been on the river, like tubing on the river before, because I'm not from like Philadelphia. I'm from like Central PA. We never really did that kind of thing.
Hmm.
But my friends that we went with, they've been multiple times, so we were a little worried, right? Because we are like the Delaware River, like we got to get life jackets, we got to get like, you know, I I spent about an hour trying to figure out the logistics, because we had 3 cars and we had 7 people, and the way, if you think about it, you have to drop everybody off at the top, you float down about 5-6 miles, and then you get picked up at the car at the bottom. But if you have 7 people, you gotta mix and match it, right? So I spent a lot of effort on trying to figure out how we are going to do that, because my friend who was organizing it, he didn't plan for 7 people and
Hmm.
3 cars. So much so that I forgot to get snacks. So
Mm.
it was a big L from that. So I was planning the pickup and drop off, but I did not plan for snacks, and so we left pretty early. Didn't stop for a Wawa run. We got there, we parked. I sprayed my sunscreen on. Story: don't use spray sunscreen, because it didn't work at all.
Yeah.
And we were floating down the river for about 4 hours. No food. Well, we had, so our friends had food, so we shared some food with them, had some drinks. I made sure I didn't actually drink any alcohol, because if I hadn't eaten anything
Hmm.
and alcohol, not a move. But we're stopping at Wawa when we go this weekend. So then, yeah, we get out of the river, and I look at myself, and I'm just like this lobster.
Hmm.
You could see where like Paige rubbed my neck. My neck was fine,
Yeah.
but my whole front is all red. I like had a tan below my knees, but I had basically like this kneecap from where my swim trunk was coming down. Like I have like, I don't know, like 8 inches, almost a foot of just red skin that it ends on the side of my thigh. It's like
Jeez.
I'm a football player with the pants. It's just we got the thigh pads going of sunburn. So yeah, not as bad as sitting in traffic for 5 hours,
Well,
but
I don't know, because you got to deal with the pain of the
yeah. And
sunburn.
also I got the aloe stuff. I put it on my legs. All it did was get stuck in my hair. It didn't actually like do anything.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so
I don't know.
number one, don't use spray sunscreen. Waste
Mm.
of time, waste of money.
You
If
really
you're
got
gonna
to
use
rub
spray
it
sunscreen,
in.
you
Like,
gotta rub it in.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't rub it in. I was worried about the cars. I had forgotten snacks. My brain was
Mm,
all over the map.
sure.
And number two, bring snacks on the
Yeah.
river. If you're gonna be floating down the river, there's a hot dog guy There's a. How are those glizzies? Have you had them
I
before?
never had one. You know, he didn't really like. I haven't really floated down the river in like 10 years, maybe. But like, you know, he wasn't really doing it back when I was doing it. You know,
He had a line. He had a line of tubes going.
it's pretty crazy. It's like it's wild. So like, if you're familiar with the Delaware River near Philadelphia, it's not even like the same river where I am.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's low key. It's a lot of nature. It's very nice. But if you want to see actually what some of it looks like, I had some videos of it in the spoiler video for Expendable Limbs. So yeah, it sucks. You know, it's.
But I'm going back on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I learned. You know, you roll low and you learn because it was a great time.
Yeah, it's an awesome time because you should just relax.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like it's like if the lazy river at any theme park, but like real. You're actually in nature. Yeah.
They made the lazy river a real thing. No way.
No way. Honestly, though, when I'm going to the lazy river, I always feel like it's a little too lazy.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree. You need some adventure.
You need like like kind of commuting river. Not necessarily like lazy, but not necessarily fast paced. You need to be like, driving to the driving river. A little faster than lazy.
Yeah, you get some like little mini rapids here and there.
Yes.
You're just like, I gotta lift my butt up so I don't get hit by a rock. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, you preach to the choir here. I totally get it because lazy river. I end up if I'm doing it at the water park, I end up getting out and just like running through. But hey.
Yeah. Well, Cap, if you ever come to Philadelphia, New Jersey, come on down. We'll do the river.
Yeah.
Stop at the hot dog man. I'm trying to convince my friends to stop at the hot dog man.
Did you know?
What's up?
Sorry. Did you know Pittsburgh's in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's 2 cities.
Isn't that crazy?
In one state.
Yeah, it's crazy. 2 cities in one state. Have you heard that Pennsylvania's in a country? It's
in a country. No, it's a Always Sunny reference for anybody out there who doesn't know. But yeah, let's talk about some flesh and blood, Gary.
Let's talk some flesh and blood.
So, Bright Lights, our first all one class draft set, booster set in general. So we were like, well, let's look through the other classes and kind of theorize if it would work for other classes because, to be honest, it probably wouldn't for a lot, but some it might. So, let's start here with Assassin. I think personally, Assassin would work, right? I think we saw that in a way with Outsiders because I mean, even if you just did a draft set with Azuri, old Arachne, and new Arachne, they would all feel very different and they would all want different things, right? So if you did that, I think it could really work. And obviously, we'd want some new assassins to kind of do it. Now, the most, I guess, real reality, I guess is the word I'm looking for, of this is Mech needed a lot more heroes because it just hadn't really got them, so that's why it got it. So we have to just remove that from this equation. Like obviously, we don't need an all Rune Blade set because we have a ton of Rune Blades right now. But but we will talk about if that would work. So what do you think about Assassin?
Yeah, I think Assassin. Honestly, Outsiders ended up turning into a lot of Assassin on Assassin matchups anyway, right? If you drafted a bunch of generics, you just played Azuri and had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Assassin is probably up there with probably one of the best because, you got your daggers, you got, if you have a good hand, you could double dagger, and then you play a 2-cost 6, right?
Yeah.
That's like a boring turn, but that's a really fun turn for a draft or a really grindy sealed environment. Honestly, great for new players to kind of learn how the game works.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the equipment. I don't necessarily know if the assassin daggers are beginner level, like to the point
Yeah.
where if we're thinking about this like a set that's great for new players or a set that's great to teach people how to play. Assassin might not be the best, especially with Azuri, and that like reaction window. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool window.
Yeah.
Um, but like it'll be really easy to forget the dagger triggers, like the on hits and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
definitely agree. I think the daggers might be the toughest part. Like obviously if it wasn't Azuri, like I feel like old Arachne works on all the different axes of combat,
yeah,
and so does the new Arachne, and they can obviously print a different hero or a couple different heroes that did different things as well. But the daggers are tough, right? Like
yeah,
you know, it's tough to remember sometimes. So like if you're new, it's going to be even tougher. So yeah, I mean, it could work, but I
yeah.
don't think
It's a. I think gameplay wise, it'd be great.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be a stellar gameplay, like grindy situation, but probably not the best for a new player. There's another class on this list that I feel like is going to be very similar in that way.
Well, I'm going basically by the adult hero names, and Arachne was first. That's why I said Assassin, but next is Azalea. So Ranger, I
Mhm.
think Ranger would not work.
Yeah, I don't think Ranger would work either.
And my reason for that is, I mean, there was actually times in Outsiders, if you were in the Ranger v Ranger matchup, where you both got fatigued and you honestly just couldn't finish the game. It didn't happen
Yeah,
that often, but that was like a thing. And that isn't great gameplay. And like Riptide and Azalea obviously were very different, wanted different cards, but they still wanted the good arrows. And
right.
I think that's just something that's always going to be common among rangers in a limited environment. Red arrows. You're just going to want them. Who has more? Who and like the pumps are good, but like obviously you can build like the the pumps that were good in Azalea, like there were some that were just better in Azalea than they were in Riptide, right? Because Riptide only cared about loading with them. Where Azalea is like, well, I don't mind spending some resources on this so that for a more powerful effect because I'm going to dominate. So that's yeah, I would say Ranger just wouldn't really work.
Yeah, I think Rangers too. Like I, the fatigue stuff is hard. Learning how Ranger actually works is hard. You can literally, like you said, run out of cards. You know, and so like you can't even swing your weapon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say Ranger. Like if we were to put this in a list, I would say Ranger is definitely worse than Assassin
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's probably in the lower tiers
Yeah,
here. Next is Guardian here. I'm looking at Guardian could work.
yeah,
Time wise, I'm not sure, but you know, like in a limited environment, if I mean, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say no. It can't work because I remember the old mirrors in Tales of Aria, and I mean maybe the Bravo mirrors were not as bad in Welcome to Wraith. What was that?
Valda. You could have some Valda in there.
Yeah, no, like I think you could do a lot of different things, but I think it's just the inherent nature of Guardians to be so defensive, and like there would be some really cool gameplay, right?
Yeah.
But just the 30-minute game time is just not enough. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bravo. Like, if you've ever done a Bravo versus Bravo WTR match,
Hmm.
it's really fun. It's really long, but
Hmm.
and you better hope you have Stonewall Confidence or like Unmovable or something.
Yeah,
But it's not. You don't want to play at four rounds of that. Um, So I would definitely better than Ranger though.
oh yeah. It's better in Ranger.
Prob
The gameplay would be better in Ranger,
Yeah,
and more intriguing, I think. But
still worse than Assassin for sure.
yeah, Assassin's probably up in the higher echelons. Um, but yeah, a little bit tough for Guardian. But next is Runeblade, which I
Yeah,
think it could be fine. Um, but I don't know. It's like weird because the uh, they always kind of want to do the same thing, and they don't really want to block, right? They want
hmm
their whole hand. So it would be on the opposite end of the spectrum of the Guardian. I think it just would be the quickest games.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be like the Viscerai Blitz meta, right? I feel like close to, obviously not as powerful. Like we wouldn't get turn 3 or turn 2 wins or whatever, but I feel like it'd be Yu-Gi-Oh in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a matter of if would it be fun.
Yeah, I think it would. I think it would be fun. Maybe my personal bias is melting in here, because like so this Viscerai's cards, like if you had Viscerai, right? Maybe playing every card you get a rune chant, whatever. But some of those cards are really suck to block with, and if you do have like some of the good rune blade on hits, I think you really could force blocks, and it would be a bunch of push and pull, but it still wouldn't be as good as an assassin, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in the camp here where it's like I think it's still better than Guardian. And as I do this list, I'm thinking like, of all of them, what's the best one, right? And I think if you had Briar, Viscerai, and like some other rune blade we don't have yet that's more defensive, I feel like it could be a good triangle.
Yeah, definitely.
But as is, I feel like you're right. Like we're too aggressive because like Vincent could be a defensive hero, right? You could play Vincent very defensively. You're assuming that everybody's just a generic rune blade. But yeah, I think honestly the diversity of the rune blades makes that hard based on the what we have right now, right? Like we can't just like obviously we're getting 2 new heroes for the Bright Light set, but assuming what we have now, it would be too complicated. Like you'd have 3 different talents.
Yeah.
You'd have untalented, you'd have, so still worse than Assassin, but I still think better than Guardian.
Yeah, like it would be interesting to see how it played out. And like I mean, technically Bright Lights is 3 new heroes because it's a new version of Dash. We don't really know what she does. But, I could see it work. But and maybe I'm overestimating the power level, right?
Yeah.
Like in the speed, but I still, if it's all Runeblade cards, you have a lot of options, right? And that's basically it. So
my thought is if you have like Consuming Volition in that set, Consuming Volition is like a nasty card that really forces blocks, and it makes the games go a lot slower.
I mean, that would be a bomb in that theoretical set, right? It'd be so good.
Yeah.
Next,
that's why it's in Crucible, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it could have been in Arcane Rising, but they weren't willing to try yet. Dash Mech, stay tuned. We don't know. Warrior, I do think Warrior would be a pretty cool set because as we've seen with Bolton, they're not afraid to do the attack action thing with Warrior, right? Like it branches out from just buff the sword, try to be tricky. And I think you could probably design a couple different warriors that like even if it's just 2 warriors that want to do sword things and 2 warriors that are doing something like a little bit different. I think it could work. I don't know about the replayability of that set, right? If that makes sense. Like I feel like a lot of warrior stuff tends to become like really on rails, right?
Yeah.
And it would be a struggle for me to imagine, like I wouldn't want to pick it up multiple times. I don't think, but I think probably better than Runeblade, but not better than Assassin.
See, I actually disagree. I think this would be actually better than Assassin.
Oh.
Because when you're playing against Azuri and you're about to attack with a stealth card, and then you have to say, okay, what do they have, right? If you're playing in the warrior only set, I think it is actually really cool because similar to Azuri, like in warrior, you have to say, okay, if I do block this, what can happen versus what happens if I don't block this? And I think that depending on the set, right? So everybody will have their own different level of attack reactions. You could have the attack warrior, so I think like presenting a just like an attack with a sword attack with go again and two cards in hand
Mm-hmm.
would be one of the most. I mean, if you play Dory in draft,
It's
like it's
true.
kind of similar, right?
Yeah.
But they have to have go again, right? So you have to assume that they don't have. You know what I mean? There's a lot of unspoken contact between the two players and like a warrior. I think it could be one of the more interesting ones, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly, now that you say that, I always had a huge blast playing Dorinthia in WTR. So, um, I don't think I'm a better than Assassin, but it is. I think it is a lot closer than I initially said.
yeah,
But
they're the two are dancing at the top.
yeah, this one I think is going to be the worst one. Illusionist.
Yeah,
And simply for the fact that well, they'd have to print generic poppers, and how many can you print, and
yeah.
it becomes the game of who drafted the most.
You could do a multi-talented illusionist set. Like
Yeah,
you could have you could have shadow, you could have draconic, you could have light, and then you could have poppers within each of those.
yeah,
But they
that's true.
can't be illusionists. But I mean, how many of those are they gonna make? And also like think about it outside of the game. Do we need three more illusionists?
No, no, no,
um,
no.
but same with rune blades. We don't need more rune blades. I'll concede that.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think illusionist is probably like not even on the tier list. Like you don't even want to consider that format.
yeah,
Like when LSS was like, okay, we're doing this. Just this LSS was doing this in a room, probably like a year and a half ago, 2 years, maybe even more. They're like, illusionist out.
yeah. I think they would have to fundamentally change something about the class itself to even like
Yeah.
consider it, but that's okay. Ninja is next. I think it would be cool. Uh, it's a little. I mean, like if it's a Kadachi set, Kadachis are good,
Yeah.
and you can be aggro or defensive. Now, I feel like it would kind of devolve in that set because of the potential to be so aggro. It would
Mhm.
devolve into a turtle set. Like they would have to really, because like I mean, just think if we had Fi and Katsu in the same set, right?
And
Like
Benji. So
and
think
Benji,
by Katsu. Yeah.
but Benji's nice because Benji gets around it, but Fi is strictly just aggro.
Hmm.
Katsu just blocks it out in Kadachi's, and that's basically it. I mean, I could be a little bit of a pessimist about it, I think, but I just like it would take a Benji to really disrupt it, right?
Yeah. I really do think the ninja one would probably be like of the three
Mm-hmm.
from outsiders. I think it's the most like interesting. It's interesting to see how it would develop
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of like you said, but I still think it's like scary, right? Because like you'd have to print something other than Kadachi because
Yeah.
if you did like giving every hero Kadachi, it's just basically like playing shapeshifter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You ever play shapeshifter with Dory and Kadachi? It's just
It's really awesome.
it's not. It's not. um so yeah, I feel like it would be better than I still think probably worse than Guardian if I had to say.
Yeah.
Just because of how volatile it is. Um so our top 3 right now we got Assassin, Warrior, Guardian, right? Or do we
Yeah.
say Rune Blade?
No, I would say no. Actually, no. It would be Room Blade, because Guardian. I think it'd
Yeah.
just be too slow.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I
maybe
mean,
maybe after Guardian, I'm not sure.
they would have to really push some boundaries with Ninja, even beyond
Yeah.
the sword. Like it just can't be long combat chain stuff, right? And that's like the
Yeah.
nice thing about Mech is Mech doesn't really have like one thing about it outside of like it has items and it has boost right now. That's all we have, but it's you can kind of do whatever you want with that that class, and I think that's why they're choosing to do it with them. So I don't think currently Ninja has that kind of variety. So
Yeah. Unless you're taking all the flick flacks.
yeah, exactly. So, Ninja's fine. I mean, below
Yeah.
Guardian, I think.
Yeah, I would put it equal to Guardian, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like both would be not fun.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't think I'd have a lot of fun with either of them. But one I would have fun with is Wizard. And
yeah.
Wizard is, it sounds crazy and it would probably be a flop. But
Yeah.
that being said, an all out Wizard battle set, like if we just get a couple more Wizards, I would love to build a Wizard cube and
Oh yeah.
just get some wild stuff going on. And, because we keep getting really cool alternative Wizard stuff in like Dynasty and Crucible, or in, not Crucible, Everfest. But,
So many good Wizard stuff.
yeah. Greg says Edge of Autumn would be a cool token weapon for all ninja set. Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, I think Wizard would be really cool. It would be tough.
It would not be the starter set. It would not be Welcome to Flesh and Blood.
Welcome to Flesh and Blood. You are dying by magic. So, yeah,
I think a lot more fun than Guardian, but
probably not.
I would honestly, yeah, I would put it below Runeblade, but above Guardian.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, Wizard as it stands now. I mean, like, I think Icelander was really fun in limited.
Yeah.
So you can, in a limited, when you can't just build combos, it's probably better, right? Like, it's not
with Arcane Barrier too, right? So like you'd have to.
Yeah, well, obviously they would probably have like Null Room just be the common like thing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it would be very interesting. I think it could be awesome, to be honest. And I wouldn't be surprised if that would be, because they talked about an all Arcane set before. That could be it. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how the mech one goes first.
Yeah. What's next?
Brute. Brute. So I think, well, I would want it, for reasons of, bias, but, and I'm sure you're going to mention the Intimidate thing, the Intimidate problem. Now, as we saw, Levi doesn't care about Intimidate. KO doesn't even care about Intimidate. Rhinar is the only one. Now, I hope that we move away from Intimidate in general. Personally, I mean, I think it's and I think it's probably healthier for Blitz that we do. But yeah. I just want them to. It would force them to push the ideas of what Brute is beyond what we've seen, right? Like, cares about 6 attacks. Yeah, we got to keep that in somehow. But like, what? It could be a big miss though. So I understand that, like, especially if it's on the Intimidate kind of axis.
Yeah, honestly, you kind of sold me on it. If you get rid of Intimidate, because if you just have KO who's attacking with, if you had KO in that set, that would be
the most fun.
Wild. Yeah, it would be so fun. Yeah, it would be really fun. Okay,
Okay, so think about they printed 3 heroes, or even did a KO set and some other runty ass, heroes, and all of their hero abilities involve rolling a die.
Amazing. That would be so good.
That would be the create, like, it could never be for the Pro Tour or anything like that.
No,
because every pro would hate it. Right? This is the worst. But imagine that as like an auxiliary set that, like, you could, like, a pick up and play. Oh god, that'd be so much fun.
All right. So the real question, is it better than Assassin?
In my mind, I mean, fun wise, but like, I would have to say, from a competitive standpoint, you just can't really consider it. I mean, you could do a Brute one that is competitively viable, but the fun version, probably not.
Honestly, and you might get a blue 6. So, you know, if you you print a Ball Brute set, you could get a Brute 6.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it'd just be a Rucker Rump reprint.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of for me. I think it's not as good as Warrior, but I could see how it would be your favorite one. Biases aside, so I would probably put it. You know, it would. It's definitely in the top 3 for me.
Yeah, it would. You know, I don't think we're gonna get. I don't think we'll ever get another one until maybe Wizard. Honestly,
Yeah.
like, just but like Savage Lands, like what's going on there, like how many. Like it feels like it's going to be set up to be Warrior and Brute and something else, but it's hard to say. I don't know. I kind of like this thought though. You know, it'd be kind of neat to see. Well, we have to see how Bright Lights goes first though.
Yeah, yeah. What about Cap in the chat says all merchant?
Yeah, well, just be like, just a bunch of people hanging out the store.
You know?
What's going on? Like, you want to buy something? No, you want to buy something for me?
Just a bunch of treasure rolling around.
Yeah, that's the only other. Well, I guess there would be like Shapeshifter, but like you know, the all Bard set.
The all Bard set.
It'd just be
everybody's
a
at a concert.
Yeah.
A band.
But no, that was cool.
So, yeah, I think yeah, of the 3, Warrior sounds most interesting to me, but I think you're right. Oh my, like I think a pro would love to play the Warrior set.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very much like you always you should be always be thinking about what your opponent could have at all times, but like it definitely pushes that to the next level. Like I need like my blocks are pretty important. So yeah, that was a fun little exercise. Now let's draft.
We're drafting.
Let me just bring this up real quick. Because we are going to draft best dressed heroes. I'm going to go first.
Okay. Well, first I want to thank the Buds Discord for some wonderful Big Bud energy this week. We had a great conversation about dressing and dressing up. Not blue cheese dressing, but like fashion. And you know whether it was okay to wear sneakers with the suit, you know. And so this is a shout out to the Buds Discord. If you want to get inspired on some looks, join the Buds Discord.
We're always serving looks on this podcast. So first, I mean, I'm going to go with the obvious one here. I think Tekla Vossen.
Okay.
I mean, I know he's not out yet, but I mean, I got it.
Yeah,
that's a pack one, pick one right there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's a good pickup, honestly.
If me and the crew are going out for the night, I want T-Dog with me in his suit. So, you know, and that T-Voss. Yeah.
All right, for me, honestly, you know who's got a great outfit? Tromai.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Tromai is ready to fuck shit up. She's got the heels. She's got the dragon skin like jumpsuit. Absolute fashion icon.
The stilettos too.
Yeah.
That's a great pick. Certainly, you know, really just serving a look like no other. But I mean, this is kind of cheating. But I'm gonna cheat. It's my show. Leviah Redeemed.
Oh my god! Do you think she's best dressed?
Yeah. Well, not Blazovic and soon, but Leviah Redeemed. Come on.
Let me take a look.
Oh
yeah. She's real. She's well dressed.
She's all redeemed. Yeah. You know, she's feeling good. Like she doesn't like the tentacles are kind of like whatever. They're not really going where they were. Got more of a real actual outfit rather than just being a fleshy bone thing. You know, I think it's a great look and I'm very happy for her. I saw that and I was like, you know what? She's really doing it.
Yeah. Really feeling herself.
Yeah.
Outfit of the day, Demon.
What's going on, Riddler man?
How's it going?
Good evening.
Good evening. Who's next? Let's see here. You know what? Honestly, the Emperor.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're on the.
Yeah, I'm on a the culture in Volcor. Honestly,
Yeah.
the fashion is fire.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the drip is all steam right now.
Yeah. It really is. I wish I could say like something like a little. I mean, I can't say Rhino. I can't say Riptide because let's be honest, it's not true. And, I
No.
would be being facetious, but I'm gonna say Cavdeen.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how to spell it, but
I
Cavdeen.
think that's it. Yeah,
Cavdeen Martin. Just he's got to sell his wares, do his thing.
Mhm.
He's kind of got like this
Functional.
like emo kind of thing going on. Kind of
Gerard Way going.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
When I was a young boy.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's Cavdeen. That's my third pick.
So my next pick, not a hero. It's a card.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
It's the dude from Ragamuffins Hat.
Oh yeah.
that dude is dressed to the nines. I mean, you saw that. You see that hat? He's got the pipe. I mean, that dude is ready to rock.
Yeah, that's a great answer to be honest. I mean, that is so. I mean, like
What
if
do you,
if we were like looking at more cards, I mean, like
oh
the
yeah,
the equipment is really. I mean, like
yeah.
final spring tunic. Like so, let's
A,
be real.
a little
Um,
bit of a cop out, but I mean, like, I mean, Adam in the Buds Discord, he did a cosplay
mm,
of him, and like, whenever we get that guy, I sure hope he's a wizard. First of all,
oh yeah,
second of
I
all,
mean,
yeah,
he kind of
he's.
looks like Radagast the Brown from Lord of the
Oh
Rings. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
kind of be cool.
Little off the rails pick there, but
No, no. I mean, I won't go because there's so many good equipment. I'm not gonna
yeah.
do it. But since it's Ragamuffin Hat, we're gonna let that one slide. Let me think about my fourth pick here. This is pretty tough. There's some really good picks. Let's be honest. Like Katsu
Yeah,
is just he looks so comfy,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's why when I did that short about what the heroes are listening
hmm
to, and I said Katsu's listening to lo-fi because he
yeah,
looks like he is lo-fi. He's just
yeah.
chilling.
Honestly, tip. I do a recommendation in the. Sorry, I'm gonna intercept here.
Sure.
If you can't sleep, I have a really hard time falling asleep. I've been throwing on some lo-fi to
Sure.
fall asleep to. It's so nice,
I,
so nice.
I,
Shout out to lo-fi.
yeah, yeah. When I can't sleep, I put on Flesh and Pod. No, I'm kidding. They're not even here to hear me dunk on them. But I was waiting for you to say I put on Fresh and Buds, but
No, no,
yeah.
no. I wanted to be a little bit nice. Um,
What's their number four?
you know who's got a really nice outfit?
Who?
He's very prepared. This is
Prepare.
on the merchant. We got Janice.
Oh
Janice
yeah.
is prepared. Like this guy is got it all. He's got what you need. That's his whole thing. So, Janice, what do you require? But yeah, Janice has got it going on with the look. I mean, he's got his whole shop is his outfit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that cosplay. Let's be
Oh
honest, it was
yeah,
like one of the
amazing.
best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Geez, Technical Lesson, Levi Redeem, Captain Katsu. This is uh, Rudy. No, I'm kidding. Uh, what else? Who am I? I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to look at these heroes real quick. I gotta like. I'm not gonna say Viscerai. Um,
Uh,
no, no.
unless you're
Oh,
gonna unless you're gonna say young Viscerai.
no, no. Oh, you know what? I gotta say, Icelander
Yeah.
in all three arts. Just right. There's three arts of it, right?
Yeah.
Icelander is doing the Ice Queen thing like so well in every single version, and it is it looks great. It's giving powerful. It's giving, you know, awesome, like badassery. It's giving sexy. It's giving all of it at the same time, and I'm here for it.
It's hard to do that.
It is. It is. Few people have
A
done it.
real multi-purpose outfit.
Yeah.
All right, last pick. So this is fifth round. We've got some good ones taken, and as much as I don't like to say it, and I really understand why people get into the illusionist game, because Prism is, I mean, her look is awesome. I mean, both her new card, both her old cards, all of them. She's intimidating. She's powerful. She's ready to go. She makes sure you follow the Dewey Decimal System. I mean, she's on it. Okay, and like two on my side, two illusionists. I mean, what can I say?
Yeah, this is not what I expected. And
I know.
Devin, yeah, we are drafting the best dressed heroes in the game. It's a little unhinged, but I'm glad you're here for it, because so are we. Prism's great, right?
Yeah.
Because let's be real, white is very hard to pull off. Like I can't really do it. Like personally, I've tried, just not my thing. Like, every once in a while I got like one or two shirts I think is good enough, but like to wear white all the time, you're either a priest or you're Prism. Like, I don't know.
And you don't eat spaghetti. So
no spaghetti. And what can you even eat? Like bread? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but this is a good draft. This is a good draft.
I mean, and obviously Taylor.
Yeah.
We didn't say Taylor, but
there's
best dressed is clearly Taylor, because she's making the dresses, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's some great ones here. Look at yours.
Leaving them on the table a little bit, like Yorick, yeah. I mean, Kasat.
Yoji's
Yoji's. I mean, but look at Dromai. Look at old Dromai's art. Pull it up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, absolutely mother dragon. Lexi, like, yeah.
Lexi's also. I almost took Lexi. And Azuri's really. I mean, doing.
I love the fur.
Yeah, it's very nice. I know it's fake fur. Yeah. I'm assuming we purposely left out Bravo, because guess what? It was a little bit too much. Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think Young Bravo's got the suave, but like.
After
Bravo.
After seeing Alex Norville do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true. But Oh, Arachne. Yeah, honestly, a lot of great. Like the cloak. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
Honestly, a lot of great fashion. Shout out to the cosplayers.
Shout out to cosplayers. Cosplayers. I have such a respect for it, and I'm gonna be really bad at it. So, got a meal of the week and some plugs.
I was thinking about it. I don't know. My meal of the week is. So we had two great meals this week. I'm gonna let you decide which was the meal of the week. At both we had mozzarella sticks. Okay. So the one meal of the week was the diner, the Star Diner in New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Oh my God, I spent a lot of time. That was where, that is where my trading card game journey. That's part of my trading card game journey. That diner.
Wait, really?
Because we live on the New Jersey side. We would go to Cyborg 1 in Doylestown, Pennsylvania to play Magic. Friday Night Magic. Play there till 10 o'clock. We're like, all right, we're hungry. On the way back, stop at the diner. And there was this one guy named, his last name was Gotchi, so we called him Gotchi. And he would be there every night hanging out, knitting. And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that place is covered in art.
Yeah.
Is it his art? Somebody in his family's?
No.
That you know?
No, he didn't work there. He just hung out there and knitted. Yeah, he's just somebody from town. So, but go ahead.
So I had a eggs Benedict with sausage, and this was right after I got off the river, so I might have been a little bit, just starved, and it was a great time. We were all just like really tired from just floating and being lazy and relaxed, and you just sit down at a diner with 7 people and you're just having a great meal. It It was a great time. It's nice to know that you that's where your card game journey began. My other one, Paige and I have been really going to the movies a lot because we have like the AMC pass.
Oh yeah.
And we built up enough points to buy dinner for ourselves at the movies. And so we got dinner at the AMC, and it was like, it wasn't something where it's like, oh, it's my great meal, but it's like, it's one of those things where you're just like, oh, we know what we should do, we should just have dinner at the movie, why not?
Yeah.
So we had like, I think in total we spent like $5 or something, because we go so much, and then I get like a popcorn, so I really, it's not really a free meal, but it was just nice because I got nachos. The nachos, honestly, very, very good. The chicken nachos at AMC, value play for sure.
Value play? All right.
Of all of the play things you could get,
they're pretty good.
Pretty good. And Paige got the mozzarella sticks, which are like these mozzarella cubes. But they're, yeah. So I don't know. I feel like the New Hope Diner is the real meal of the week, but I did want to shout out to like just getting like a basically free meal at the movies.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sometimes it's just, you have that's my high roll of the week.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any plugs because I don't do the old X thing. But definitely join the Buds Discord. Join the Patreon. I'm on the Patreon actively watching Tommy spiral into a cosplayer and seeing how that works.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm ordering a ton of foam soon, so
yeah.
But yeah, I think New Hope Diner is a great answer. I'm just like, it's now coming back to me, all the characters that hang out there at night.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like Gotchi would hang out there knitting, and then like he's like older, a little weird. He would call one of my friends the ass man, and then my friend would do like a weird butt dance for him. I don't know. It was a bizarre thing. And then we had a waitress, a server, that was just known as Spacey Stacy. So that was just it was weird late night vibes there, yeah. But the food was always it was a good diner. So
yeah, it's a decent diner. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't breathtaking, but it was more about the experience.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's the nice thing about diner. You get like these. It's almost stuck in time, but not. Yeah. If that makes sense. But that's why I love them. But my meal of the week is, I will say, I think it is. I got a sandwich at lunch. Trogs Brewing makes great food. The beer's awesome as well. But they had a BLT on there. I'm like, well, I got to see what they're doing with this BLT, right? I'm a big fan of BLTs. I know some people are like, it's not even like a good sandwich. It's a good sandwich. And it was thick, like really, it was like basically pork belly. Like thick cut, like crispy, but like really meaty. And, heirloom tomatoes on like a really nice rye bread. Some mayo, salt, pepper. It wasn't anything crazy, but like that bacon being so thick was like, oh wow, this is awesome. And I was eating it on the way to be stuck in traffic for 2 hours. So highs and lows, as we said. But you can continue to find me on X, Fresh Buds Pod. Check out Fresh and Buds Discord, Patreon, all those fun things and stuff and content, and comment on things and make the algorithm like us. But with that, we'll say goodbye.
Bellow out.
Bellow out.